Happy Hour starts live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, Hoppe.
Ryan Hoppe.
Hoppe.
Ryan Hoppe.
Hoppe.
Ryan Hoppe.
This is Happy Hour.
It's time to turn Hoppe on. From Chicago to Cleveland to Tampa Bay, you are plugged into Happy Hour.
Well, hello there. How's it going? Great to hear. This is Happy Hour. I will be hanging out with you for the next hour. We have so much to talk about. Get what I did there? Happy Hour, Happy Hour. You go to a bar, and for the whole hour you can get deals. Well, here, it's Happy Hour. You can hear me talk about the news and much more. Call the show, 856-49-HOPPE. That's 856-49-HOPPE, and I will be sure to take your calls in real time. And now it's an internet show, so I don't have a person answering phones for me. So the best part is, when you call, you get right through. And I know when you're in radio, you're supposed to pump yourself up and say, well, yeah. The phones are so jammed right now. Maybe you can get in, and they make it seem like they're getting all these calls. Trust me. If you were to call 856-49-HOPPE right now, you could probably get in. You know what I'm saying? Also, tweet me at Ryan Hoppe Radio and chat me via the Hoppe Radio app. This is being brought to you by Eric Marshall, EMK Final Round in Bradenton. If you go there and tell him that I sent you, he will hook you up with a great deal. Maybe not the most amazing deal, because it'll be even better than that. The deal will be so great, you will be taken aback by it. It's at 6103 28th, and that's in Bradenton. Call him at 941-812-2560. That's 941-812-2560. If you're sick and tired of being out of shape, and you've noticed the weight loss that I've gone through, trust me, if I can do it, anybody can do it. All you got to do is go to EMK Final Round and hang out with my dude, Eric Marshall. Oh man, we have so much to get into, but it's pretty funny. I'm from Chicago, so I have a love-hate relationship with the Chicago Bears. Like, when they're doing good, I love them. When they're doing bad, I hate them. And when the Bears are doing amazing, the whole city gets excited. Like if you're cuddling with your girl to this song, the whole city just falls in love with the Bears and loves every second of it. They just go crazy for it. But here's the problem with being a Bears fan and getting down with the romance of it and falling in love with it. Oh yeah, sing it, George. The problem is, you have Mitchell, who is the quarterback of the Bears, doing great this year. And then he gets hurt. So then Chase Daniel, who's the career backup, comes in during Thanksgiving and does okay. Does good enough to beat the Lions, but the Lions are a bad team. So he did enough to beat them. Cool, dude. So then all of a sudden people are debating, oh, who should be our quarterback? Should it be Chase Daniel or Mitchell? Who should it be? And I hear sports talk radio and everybody in Chicago losing their mind over an idea that's not even there. So what happened Sunday? The Bears are playing the 4-8, or at the time 3-7 New York Giants. But this is a Giants team that has talent. This is a Giants team that you look at on paper and you're like, why aren't they doing better? This is a Giants team that maybe if they had some leadership and maybe they were able to work together as a team, they would be in the playoff mix for the NFC East. But this opponent for the Bears with Chase Daniel as the quarterback was a lot harder than when they were playing the crappy Lions. Like, the Lions are bad. But the Giants are good bad. There's a lot of talent on the team. They just do not mesh well. So I feel like the Chicago Bears kind of went into New York and thought it'd be an easy win because they had the exact opposite record, 8-3. New York was 3-8. And during that first play by Chase Daniel, where he's being rushed, and then the Giants defense comes towards him, and he throws that interception with like 30 seconds of just NFL football being played, and already he throws a pick six. I knew the Bears were not winning that game. There was no way in hell that the Bears were going to win that game after their quarterback on one of the first plays looks rushed. And you know what I immediately did not like about that play? Not that it was a pick six, that it went to be 7 points within the first 30 seconds. Not the fact that it was a bad throw. It was the mannerisms of Chase Daniel after that interception. It was the way he carried himself, that it was like an eerie version of a backup version of Jay Cutler. He had this mannerism, he had this expression on his face, he had this woe is me, kind of like Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh, like the donkey. He kind of had this like, oh, feel bad for me attitude. And I went, that is not going to get us to victory. And they had all these fumbles, and then it seemed like every play by Chase Daniel when he was in the pocket was either going to be an interception or was close to being an interception or a fumble. It just was not good football at all. And I think it just proves that there's a reason why these NFL players that are career backups are career backups. Because there are so many bad teams out there in the NFL that if Chase Daniel was actually a good player, he would totally be playing for Buffalo or the Jets or Miami or Oakland or Arizona, any of these really bad teams, the 49ers. Don't you think that if a guy is that good that GMs in the NFL wouldn't want to ignore it and they would want to sign you immediately? That's why I get annoyed when a backup has a good game and then the whole fan base is acting like that backup is great. I go, no. There's a reason why Chase Daniel is a backup. There's a reason why he's not playing on one of these 32 NFL teams unless a player gets hurt. I'm just saying, it drives me nuts. And it happens a lot in Chicago where Chicago radio, they just debate who should be the quarterback. This guy, not the backup. There's a reason why the dude is a backup. There is a reason why he's not playing all the time. He's good enough to make millions, but he's not the main guy, and that's fine. My God, it drives me nuts. And the other thing that is just really crazy when you're watching the Giants game is just you look at Eli Manning and you just look at Eli and you go, what happened to Eli? He's throwing these bad passes. He's looking grumpy. And I mean, we all know that he kind of carries himself like he has autism or Asperger's. He's kind of always been goofy, but he was a winner. But there is something about Eli Manning now where it seems like he should have retired 2 years ago. Like, I'm not saying he doesn't have a legacy. I'm not saying that you can take away that he beat the Patriots twice. But there's just this mannerism about Eli Manning where it feels like he's hanging around just a little bit too long. Just think about it. He was a guy with Mario Manningham as wide receiver against the Patriots in 2012 in the Super Bowl. And then I forget who the other wide receiver was. Wasn't it like David Tyree or something in 2008? He had two crazy wide receivers. It was David Tyree that were able to get plays that had them beat the Patriots. And it's just crazy to think that that same dude who has legendary plays in the Super Bowl has a team in his later part of his career that's 3-8, now 4-8. It's insane. It's crazy to think about. You know what I love too? Whenever these teams are bad, like let's say you listen to New York sports radio, or you listen to Eagles sports radio, Philadelphia, or any of these teams that are so close to being good, but then they have a few games where they mess up. What's really annoying about when you listen to sports radio or you talk to sport fans is they go, all they had to do was make that field goal, not get the interception, and get that 2-point conversion, and they would have won. It's like saying, oh, I could have won the lotto, but I needed this number, and this number. Like, they lost. That is the most annoying trend I am sick and tired of hearing about from NFL fans with mediocre teams. Yeah, we should be a good team. I mean, dude, totally. If this happened, oh man, we would have been this record. Oh, if this happened, oh, and then we could have made the play. It's a what-if situation because your team lost. It is the most lazy narrative by the media. It is the most lazy narrative by sport fans that are hanging out. Is when somebody goes, oh, well, if this would have happened and this and this and this. Shut up. There's a reason why your team is that record, because it's mediocre or bad. If they were good teams figure out a way to win. Enough with this whole thing where, oh, if the Buccaneers did this, and then if they did this, then they could have had this record. It didn't happen, no. If Clinton would have had a few places vote for her, maybe she would be president. It's that what-if factor. Shut up. I'm sick of hearing about it. It's so old and repetitive. So I like sports. I like listening to sports talk radio, more of the national shows. But you listen to these local nerds that have these sports talk shows in all these major cities, like the diehard fans, and they just make excuses for their team. Your team sucks. I'm sorry. Like I was listening to Mike Francesa today, who I'm a huge fan of on WFAN, and he's talking about how if the Giants would have had this and this and this happen, then they'd be maybe 500 and in the mix. But it didn't happen. Because they can't figure out ways to win. Just saying. And the same thing goes with the Packers. As the Packers fired Mike McCarthy. And it's really crazy to think that Mike McCarthy was the coach of the Packers for 13 years. And here's why that's crazy for me, personally. Because I'm a Bears fan. I'm from Chicago. So you play Green Bay twice a year. So I've seen him maybe 26 times minimum and the playoff games and whenever the Packers are on TV. So he almost kind of becomes a part of your life where you hate the Packers and you hate Mike McCarthy and you hate this player and this player. And it's crazy to think that 8-9 years ago, Mike McCarthy was a champion. He got Aaron Rodgers a ring, and then the next year they went 15-1 and then lost in the championship game. All this success that Aaron Rodgers and Mike McCarthy had. It was great. It was amazing. And then it's just insane to think that over time, everything just went to crap. Like, you don't see that with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. We have no idea what their relationship is. But there's something to be said about the fact that, for the most part, they seem to get along. But it really makes you wonder what type of person Aaron Rodgers is like to play with. It just makes you wonder what was going on in that locker room where Mike McCarthy gets fired during the season. Things must have been really bad, because when you would look at Aaron's mannerisms, especially when Mason Crosby missed that field goal to go into overtime against the Cardinals on Sunday, you just look at Aaron, and it just seems like he's kind of becoming the bitter old man of the NFL. He's one of the best quarterbacks out there. He's one of the best of all time. He's so damn accurate. But there just seems to be a lot of things that go around with Aaron Rodgers. It just seems like there's a lot of drama. It seems like he's kind of unlikable. And I can't put my finger on it, but there's just something where I feel like he's got like a personality issue. Maybe it has to do with, I'm a Bears fan, so I'm just rooting against him. Or maybe it has to do with the fact that there's the whole drama with him and his brother Jordan. But there's just something about Aaron Rodgers where you look at him and there's just this disconnect. Like when he's really good and when things are gelling, there's nothing better, even though you're a Bears fan and you hate it, but as a sports fan, there's nothing better than when Aaron Rodgers is on fire. There's nobody that can prevent him. Aaron Rodgers and that team becomes its own worst enemy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. When Aaron Rodgers is on fire and everything's going good, they are unbeatable. But it was just crazy seeing Mike McCarthy get fired. But I mean, the guy had a lot of success. Like, if I were, let's say, Tampa Bay or Cleveland, one of the medium markets for the NFL, I would pick him up in a second. I would give Mike McCarthy to be my coach. The guy has all the success with wins, and he won a Super Bowl. Most coaches can't say that. But I do not think at all that Mike McCarthy should be the coach of the New York Jets. I don't think if he was able in the end to handle the Wisconsin media, how is he going to handle the media in the Big Apple, the biggest city in the world? So I think Mike McCarthy would definitely, without any doubt in my mind, be an amazing coach for a team that has players but needs to go to the next level, like the Browns with Baker Mayfield, or the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with Jameis. One of those teams where they just need a slight edge and a coach that can gel things together. But there's no way in hell, though, any chance that Mike McCarthy should be going to the Jets. Because you see all those rumors and you're like, no. It's nothing against Mike McCarthy. He's a good coach. It's just, that doesn't make sense. Let me know what you think. 856-49-HOPPY. 856-49-HOPPY.
Happy hour. Happy hour. I'm Louis 2 Live. I'm Dylan.
This is real EDM.
Chicago EDM Podcast.
What's up, this is the Chainsmokers. Robin Van Buren. Hey, this is Robbie Rivera.
Real EDM
Hi, this is
interviews.
Marcus Schultz.
Podcast like you've never heard before.
Hi, Louis and Dylan.
Louis and Dylan. Hi, Jess.
Louis and
The
Dylan.
music, the culture, the lifestyle. Dylan and Louis taking you behind the scenes.
Hi, this is Crystal Waters.
Has that lot of D made you a lot of dough? RealEDM.com.
Are you sick and tired of waking up every morning and looking at yourself in the mirror and being disappointed in how you look? Are you sick and tired of going to social events and seeing your friends in better shape? Are you sick and tired of watching TV shows and wishing you had the body of the famous actors? Well, guess what? That can change immediately if you go to Eric Marshall's Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA in Bradenton. He has the best classes for you to get you in shape. It's not like any other boxing trainer where they're just cashing in a check, teaching a class. Eric Marshall cares about each and every one of you that comes to his class. So if you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a top-notch deal. Now, to get into contact with Eric, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. 6103 28th Street East, and that's in Bradenton. 941-812-2560. Go there and get into shape today.
NBA D-League coaches, nationally syndicated radio hosts, TV writers, comedians. You never know who will call in a happy hour. Shut up!
Yes. Welcome back to Happy Hour. Hanging out with you. 856-49-HOPPY. 856-49-HOPPY. Phone lines are wide open. So call me now. So, I'm down with the Me Too movement. I love that it makes girls feel safe. I love that it's pointing out that men are creeps, that men are pieces of dirt. I love it. It's really good. But at some point, I think at times we kind of need to relax and not get so offended over every single thing. Like, there's just some things that you wouldn't do now, but just because it was created back in the day doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. Because it's Christmas time, supposed to be hanging out with your significant other and your family, appreciating life. If you're in the Midwest, it is cold outside in the Midwest. If you're down in Florida, 55 degrees is freezing. But up north, it is cold outside. I see this. Everybody's heard about it from now, but I'll say it because I want to talk about it. Baby, It's Cold Outside, related to an anthem about date rape. Cleveland radio, where I worked, says Baby, It's Cold Outside lyrics are out of hand in the Me Too era. Okay. Now, let's listen to a little bit of it. Now, does the song have the vibe that he's a little bit pushy, that Dean Martin kind of wants to get laid? Maybe. Possibly. But I don't think that Dean Martin was advocating date rape. When he was writing these lyrics, I don't think Dean Martin in his mind was like, yeah, let's do this Christmas song about how I take advantage of women and then I rape them. Because number one, back in the day, nobody wanted that reputation. Nobody ever wants that reputation. And number two, if you are saying that the original song by Dean Martin, Baby It's Cold Outside, is advocating rape, then you are saying that every single cover that anybody has ever done of that song, that they are all advocating rape. Meghan Trainor was advocating rape. Michael Bublé was advocating rape. Seth MacFarlane was advocating it. Lady Antebellum, Kelly Clarkson, She and Him, Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey, Natalie Cole, Holly Cole, Brett Eldridge. Looking at all these names. Colby from back in the day, Gavin DeGraw, good old CeeLo Green with Aguilera, Darius Rucker. What I'm getting at is all these singers, even Haley Reinhart from American Idol, females were singing it. Now, if it was a dude and then a guy pretending to be a girl, then it'd be a creepy song. John Travolta covered it years ago. Everybody's covered it. I don't think any of them, when they were covering it, they were like, let's make an anthem encouraging date rape. You know what? Let's make an anthem where we're encouraging to take advantage of women. No, it's a silly song. It's a little pushy. It's a little edgy. It's a little odd. But I don't think there was any bad intentions during it. But maybe I'm wrong. 856-49-HOPPY. It is kind of weird to listen to. I'm not denying, but this is from Patch.com. Oh, baby, did a Cleveland radio show ever give the cold shoulder to the Christmas classic Baby It's Cold Outside? WDOK-FM pulled the song because of such lines as, say what's in this drink. I really can't say, baby, don't hold out. Okay, here's the thing. You know what I think it is? WDOK-FM in Cleveland. This is a ratings grab. Because you don't hear this from anybody else. And the report is, it was just a few complaints to WDOK-FM in Cleveland. You know what this was? WDOK in Cleveland didn't care. They weren't offended. Nobody's ever thought this. You know what this was? I'll tell you what this was. This was them going, how can we get ratings in the Cleveland market? Because WDOK-FM, I've worked in Cleveland radio, is not leading the ratings. They do well. People listen to WDOK-FM. I'm not denying. I'm not saying they don't. But in the ratings, the king is always WMJI, Magic. And it's like a classic hits channel, and they play music radio it's a music radio setup, but every Christmas season they play Christmas music, and they always lead the ratings. They are in second place. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. WDOK is in 8th place. So this was a way, it seems like they're playing Christmas music too, and their rival, Magic 105.7, in Cleveland is in second place and playing Christmas music. So this was WDOK looking for any way to get attention. Shows like Rover's Morning Glory and Elvis Duran also do well in the ratings in Cleveland. So WDOK is going, hey, we do okay in the ratings. Hey, pay attention to us. So they thought, what's a publicity move we can do? It's kind of like a few years ago. It happened in Cleveland as well. I think it was Kiss FM. After Chris Brown beat up Rihanna, they didn't play any Chris Brown song, and then it got national attention. It's nothing more than radio DJs trying to make it about them. Because in this business, all we do is talk into mics. It's all about us. So every single second when we're thinking about how to make ourselves more famous in radio, we think about how can we incorporate ourselves to make things better. We never think about other people. We think, how can we make listeners listen to us? So what I'm saying is WDOK didn't care. They weren't thinking that Baby It's Cold Outside was implying rape. They were thinking, how can we get a ratings grab to get everybody in the Cleveland media to talk about us, and then we'll get ratings, and then we'll be Magic 105.7. That's what that is. Nothing more and nothing less. Ridiculous. Can we just enjoy Christmas, please? Can we just appreciate it? Can we just enjoy our family? Or do we have to be offended over everything? I'm sick and tired of it. Oh my God, we're such wimps. We're so offended over everything. And I want to know the mindset of the person that complained to WDOK FM in Cleveland and got Baby It's Cold Outside removed from the radio. So, were you so offended by the song? Were you so triggered and were you so bothered by it that you literally couldn't go through life? You were so triggered that you couldn't put the key in your ignition to drive to work. You were so triggered that you couldn't find the energy and the will to get your shovel and get the snow out of your driveway. Were you not able to put your TV dinner in the microwave and cook dinner? Were you so triggered by WDOK FM playing Baby It's Cold Outside that you needed to complain? And once it happened that WDOK FM removes Baby It's Cold Outside, is there a sense of relief where all of a sudden you feel kind of safe and you feel better and you're not as triggered, and now you're able to make your TV dinner, now you're able to put the key in the ignition, and now you're able to shovel the snow in peace? Or are you nothing more than a lonely person with nothing going on in your life? You have no power, you are bossed around at work, everybody makes fun of you, and you want to go, I want to have some pull in life. I want to have something where I can say I did something, I accomplished something. So when you complain to WDOK FM and you say that Baby It's Cold Outside is talking about date rape and they remove it, you have this self-importance where you go, I accomplished something for once. I got people to pay attention to me. That's what it seems like. And once again, I am completely down with the Me Too movement. I love that it expresses creep. But during this song, I don't think that that's equivalent to, let's say, Harvey or Kevin Spacey. I don't think that this is their anthem. I don't think that this is equivalent to Harvey doing naughty things into a potted plant. I think it's kind of a weird song. But it's not encouraging gay rape. Get over yourself. You know what's funny is the song's only been going on for 1:18 and it's 2 minutes long. And he's so pushy about Baby He's Out There that it is a little uncomfortable. But once again, I don't think Dean Martin in 1940 was like, man, you know what would be good for Christmas? Not snuggling with your family, getting warm by the fireplace, eating ham. A nice session of date rape. You know what would be good? To make a song about date rape. Maybe I'm wrong. I never met Dean Martin, but he didn't have that vibe. I'm not saying it's not a weird song. I'm not saying it's not uncomfortable, but maybe it's cold outside. How lucky is you? Look out the window. And when you look at Dean Martin back in the day, and you look at Frank Sinatra, they seem like gentlemen that you want to smoke a cigar with. They don't seem like creeps. I know they were probably narcissists and sociopaths and all about themselves, but they don't give off the vibe that like Kevin Spacey gives off, or Harvey gives off, or Louis gives off. Now, they were before my lifetime. I wasn't alive. I never met them, but I'm just saying they don't make it They don't have a vibe where you look at them and you're like, man, I don't want my daughter hanging out with Dean Martin. Get him away, please. Jesus Christ.
How lucky was you, Johnny? Look out the window at the storm. Gosh, your lips look.
My sister will be suspicious. To me, it's Dean Martin after a second date, and the girl kind of likes him. She sort of does, but she's not ready to have sex with him yet. And he wants to, but he gets denied. That's what the song's about. It's not like she goes, hey, get off of me, baby, it's cold outside. Hey, leave me alone, baby, it's cold outside. Hey, get away from that potted plant, baby, it's cold outside. Hey, I'm going to call 911, baby, it's cold. It's a dumb song. It's an idiotic song. Man, I bet if Dean Martin, the narcissist that he was, I bet if you were to tell him that in 75 to 100 years later, after he made this song that he took his time to write and perform, if you were to tell him that it would encourage day rape and that we'd be offended by it and that it wouldn't be airing in Cleveland, I think Dean would go, you know what? I like having a good legacy after I'm gone. I don't think I want to record it. Just saying. What are you talking about? It's encouraging day rape. Jesus Christ. So do you think when Jessica Simpson and Nick Lachey recorded it, you think Nick was implying, oh, I day raped Jessica all the time when they were married? Or Dolly Parton? So many people have covered it that you have to think there's something innocent about it. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know. 856-49-HOPPY. 856-49-HOPPY. We will be right back.
Happy hour. Happy hour.
Are you sick and tired of waking up every morning and looking at yourself in the mirror and being disappointed in how you look? Are you sick and tired of going to social events and seeing your friends in better shape? Are you sick and tired of watching TV shows and wishing you had the body of the famous actors? Well, guess what? That can change immediately if you go to Eric Marshall's Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA in Bradenton. He has the best classes for you to get you in shape. It's not like any other boxing trainer where they're just cashing in a check, teaching a class. Eric Marshall cares about each and every one of you that comes to his class. So if you go there and tell them that I sent you, they will hook you up with a top-notch deal. Now, to get into contact with Eric, it's not hard. It's not rocket science. 6103 28th Street East, and that's in Bradenton. 941-812-2560. Go there and get into shape today.
Call Hoppy now. 856-49-HOPPY. Tweet at him at Ryan Hoppy Radio. Or chat him live via the Hoppy Radio app.
Welcome back. So, I grew up Roman Catholic. Now I'm pretty much atheist. I don't like to say I'm atheist because I hope there's an afterlife, but I don't really believe in God, so I don't go to church. And I was forced every Sunday between 1993 to like 2012 when I turned 18 to go to Mass every week, and I hated every second of it. And I haven't been to this church I grew up at in like maybe 7 to 8 years. And I was talking to somebody, and I was talking about how this certain priest, what happened to him? Like, he was doing well at the church, everybody seemed to like him. Then all of a sudden, he just kind of abruptly left. He wrote like a little article in the magazine they pass out every Sunday, and he was gone. And I heard a rumor that everybody would be mad at me when I would tell my friends this. I said that this certain priest kind of had gay vibes. I said that he's kind of a weird guy, he's kind of odd, a little awkward. But everybody, all my friends, my mom and my dad would be like, no, this priest isn't gay, he's not. He just likes to sing a lot during Mass, and he's very outgoing. I heard a rumor through a grapevine that the reason he left this church was because he had a gay lover that he would fly to Florida to hang out with, and he got caught. Does it surprise you? Now, this is alleged. Could be false. Might not be true, but kind of makes you wonder. Because I see this in the news here. Pope tells gay priests, be celibate or quit the Catholic Church. The Pope said he found fashionable homosexuality very worrying. The Church currently teaches that being gay is not a sin, but homosexual sex is. Ugh. Why do you care? You think if God's real, you think God's like, man, this priest, he went to become a priest, he went to the college, he prayed a lot, but he likes to have sex with men. Do you think God is like, you know what, he shouldn't be a priest? Do you think God really cares? Religion's dying. I think God would want as many priests as he can get. Do you think God's like, oh my God, this priest, really religious, believes in the afterlife, but is attracted to men? Get rid of him! He's going to hell! From what I've heard from people that are religious, it seems like God's a cool dude. Turned water into wine, hung out with hookers, cared about people. Do you think God really is like, man, this priest is gay? Enough of him. Get out of here. I think it's more people that are homophobic in the church, and more that people that aren't up with the times, that are threatened by the fact that gay people actually embrace their sexuality more than the people that hate on it do, because a lot of times the people that hate on gay people are actually gay and just don't want to admit it. So they're unhappy that people that are gay are able to embrace it, and they're jealous and they wish that they could be like that, so they want to bring them down and hate on them. Or it's a case of, it's a person that's heterosexual that is jealous that gay people can have better relationships because they're more open and honest about who they are, and they hate that they're married to a wife that they don't care about, and they hate that maybe they're a priest but they were forced to be a priest, and they wish that they could be gay. Any of these situations, to me, it's more bigotry from people that are claiming to be Catholic. It's more bigotry from people that just can't accept that a man and a man love each other. Who cares? I don't think the man up there, God, G-O-D, I don't think he cares if a priest wants to have sex with a man. With all the prayer requests, you know, that come to God 24/7, with all the prayer requests that he has to deal with, to me, I kind of picture it being like this.
You've got mail. 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 You've got mail.
Imagine being God all day long, Jimmy in Chattanooga. God, I really want to win my football game to impress the cheerleader that I have a crush on. Joe in Syracuse. Oh my God. I really want to get this job interview. Mary in Milwaukee. Oh man. I just want things to go well in life. My mom. Man, I really want Ryan to make it in radio. Think about all the requests that go to the inbox of heaven. With everything that God has to deal with, do you really think, if he's real, that he cares that a priest wants to have sex with another man? Do you think really, with his inbox being full, and he's got to deal with the angels up in heaven that are arguing, and he's got to deal with all the new arrivals and kind of get them assorted in heaven and feeling comfortable with everything that God is up to up there? And then he's got to deal with that annoying guy, the devil, and he's got to deal with everything. You know, he's like, you know what? I want the Pope to spend his lifetime saying that having sex with a man is wrong. Just saying. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe God, with all the requests that he's getting in heaven, that he really cares, that it really bothers him. I don't see it that way. I don't see that happening. I really don't. I just don't get. I don't even like thinking about my friends having sex. Doesn't matter if you're gay, hetero. As a non-religious guy, Whenever I hear my friends having sex at a party, I go outside and drink a beer and not hear it. It's weird to think about your friends or your parents or anybody you're related to having sex. It's weird. Why does the Pope care if a priest wants to have sex with a man? It's almost a little odd. Like, he wishes he could have that situation, but he's the Pope, so he can't. Or maybe he is, and he's just unhappy that he's that way too, even though he should be happy, because that's the way that maybe he is. So he wants to bring it out on other people. Shut up. God damn it, it drives me absolutely nuts. God. Just imagine how busy he is up there. I don't think he cares. Like, do you think God looks down on, like, let's say the Flamingo Club in St. Pete? You think God is just so annoyed? You think God looks at RuPaul's show and is just so offended?
There was a little black girl in the Brewster Project of Detroit, Michigan. At 15, she was spotted by an Ebony Fashion Fair talent scout, and her modeling career took off.
You better work. Do you think God, with his free time during the summer, looks at St. Pete and everybody who's a part of the LGBTQ community is happy, embracing it? Do you think he's like, no, you're going to hell, like RuPaul? Or do you think God doesn't care? God, I don't think he cares. Because I don't think he's real. But I know that pisses people off. Because the idea of nothing happening after you die is kind of eerie. Which is why you better work. I love this song. Just makes you happy. Makes you want to party. Hey, pass some shots of Fireball. Let's get drunk. Cover girl. All right, enough of that. Just saying. Maybe I'm wrong. Call me 856-49-HOPPY. I don't care. Life's too short. I don't care. If the priest is doing a good job of promoting being a Catholic in church, what does it matter to you? Is it really bothering you? Is it really affecting your day? Is it really just ruining everything? Elton John, what a talent. Love this song. Everybody last week was so upset. I do feel bad if you paid tickets to see Elton John at the Amalie, and he had to cancel it because of an earache. I love all the Facebook comments of everybody going like, yeah, he's faking it. He just doesn't want to perform. He doesn't care about his fans. He's doing a worldwide tour. I think he cares. Have you ever had an earache? Are you almost 70 and singing every night in front of a sold-out crowd? I want to see you go up there with an earache and perform Banging in the Jets. How old is Elton John? I'm just saying, I don't think he's in his prime anymore. He's 71 years old. He was born in 1947. I don't think Elton John is like, you know what? I can't do this anymore. I hate it. I think he just had an earache. I don't think he felt well. He's 71 years old. The fact that he's doing a worldwide tour says a lot about Elton John. We should be proud of him. Just saying. All these comments, oh, Elton John doesn't care. Maybe he doesn't. What's his net worth? Elton John. What's he worth? $500 million. He's a half a billionaire. I wouldn't care either if I had that money. I wouldn't at all. He's got a good-looking husband. He's got cute kids. What are you even doing this for? Just go hang out with your kids. You're 71. You're going to be dead soon. If an earache is preventing you from doing a concert, maybe you shouldn't be performing anymore. But this is so good. I would love to see this live. Listen to this. It's just so soothing. It's just crazy. In a lifetime, everybody's given different talents. Some people are meant to be accountants. Some people are meant to play basketball. It's crazy to think that whatever makes people, like I'm saying, if there's a greater God or whatever, that they were like, Elton John's going to be a great singer. And just listen to these pipes. He's so good. I can barely talk normally. Can you imagine me singing? All right. Here's the deal. We're going to come back on Happy Hour and talk about much more after this, so do not touch that computer mouse, that tablet, however the hell you're listening to.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour.
Up next is my dudes, Wallysburg, with the New Year.
Ryan Hoppe at Ryan Hoppe Radio. Snapchat him at Hoppe Radio. And email him anytime at ryanhopperadio@gmail.com. Now back to the show.
Welcome back to Happy Hour. I am your host, Ryan Hoppe. Hanging out. Call me, 856-49-HOPPY. It's 856-49-HOPPY. So we're going to talk about it real quick, because I had a no LeVar Ball rule on this show. But LeVar Ball, the father of Lonzo Ball, who's on the Lakers, has the reality show Ball in the Family, has the big baller clothing line. LeVar Ball said to TMZ, to the paparazzi, that he has no relationship with LeBron James whatsoever. Does that surprise you? Does that take you off guard? Are you surprised that LeBron James, who's a 3-time champion and an MVP and one of the greatest players of all time, do you really think that a champion would want to be surrounded with a chump? You think that LeBron James, who has led his team to victory, and LeVar Ball has an F by the Better Business Bureau as a rating for the big baller brand, where they're not ballers, they're fake people? Do you really think LeBron James wants to be associated with him? Do you think LeBron James wants to deal with you, LeVar? The media doesn't even want to deal with you anymore unless you're TMZ and you have nothing to talk about, so it's a slow news day and you can just talk about LeVar Ball. Do you really think that LeBron James, the guy who's trying to win a ring and try to become a mogul that's respectable by making TV shows and movies, do you really think that being around LeVar Ball would make you a winner? Do you really think that LeBron James, you are the 5 people you associate yourself with? So you think that LeBron James wants to be around LeVar Ball? Because then if you are the 5 people that you surround yourself with, then you have 4 other people you can choose from, because LeVar Ball is an influence on you. Just saying. Just couldn't believe he was complaining, I have no relationship with LeBron. Maybe if you shut your mouth, he would listen to you. I don't think LeBron listens to anybody but LeBron. And I feel like even LeBron overthinks LeBron. I don't think it's seriously. LeVar, you really think he cares about you? What a narcissist. You really think LeBron James, who's focused on becoming the next big mogul, you really think he goes, man, I really should talk to LeVar Ball more? I don't think LeBron talks with Dwayne Wade. I don't think he talks to Chris Bosh anymore, and he won championships with him. He didn't even talk to Kyrie Irving, and they were in an all-time great situation together, and they could have been better if they got along. So shut up, LeVar. It's always about you. What's LeVar Ball up to? How's he doing? That's one. No one cares, dude. But here I am talking about him. So in the end, LeVar Ball wins, and I lose. In the end, I'm worth about 10 cents. LeVar Ball's net worth is a lot more than 10 cents. LeVar Ball is worth $4 million. So he's doing pretty good. What a character. I'll never forget when LeVar Ball, during that championship game, I think it was like something like the Big Ten championship or whatever, when Lonzo was playing, and he was like, my son's better than Curry. And the media blew up over it. I just knew immediately we would never get rid of LeVar Ball. He's just so captivating, and he's so good at pissing everybody off that I knew it was meant to be. Also here, Kansas City Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes backs the team's decision to release running back Hunt after he was caught on video attacking a 19-year-old woman. Now, the way that the media is reporting it, they're acting like we should be surprised, that we should be thrown back, that we should be confused, that we should be just so perplexed on why Patrick Mahomes, who's trying to take over the league and is the next up-and-coming all-time great as long as he does well, that he doesn't want to surround himself with a loser wife-beater who can't seem to get along with anybody because he's a raging sociopath. Like, we're supposed to be surprised that Patrick Mahomes, who's supposed to be maybe this year's MVP winner, especially in the Me Too era, wouldn't want to surround himself with a woman beater. Now, granted, they're going to miss his play on the field. Granted, they're going to wish he was there. Granted, it might come back to hurt them in the end. But we're supposed to be surprised that in an era where everybody's sensitive, that everybody is uptight, that he's going to defend Kareem Hunt. That you're going to hear Patrick Mahomes go, no, bring my dude back. We need his production. We need him. Come back, please. because it implies that Patrick Mahomes doesn't think he's good enough to win and that he needs Kareem Hunt. But we shouldn't be surprised that Patrick Mahomes isn't defending Kareem at all, and that he's defending what the Chiefs did by getting rid of him, because NFL players, especially quarterbacks, are leaders of their team. So you would think that he would end up thinking, here's how I can fight adversity, is we can win a Super Bowl and say we didn't need Kareem. Because if Patrick Mahomes were to go down the black hole of we need Kareem, come back, we miss you, then it implies that he's not good at fighting adversity and that everything would need to be perfect for him to win. Just saying. Think about it that way. Yeah. And then this whole thing that the NFL didn't know about it. That the NFL is just now finding out about it. And they knew a little bit about it back then, but they hadn't seen the video. Kiss my tall, uncoordinated ass if you think that Roger Goodell didn't hear about this or see this video. The NFL is the sports world equivalent version of the mafia. Here's the thing. It goes two ways with this. With the potential of Roger Goodell and the NFL not seeing this footage of Kareem Hunt shoving that woman. Here's the two ways this goes. Situation number one. They knew about it, but they see that the Chiefs are an up-and-coming team, and they hope that it would just be swept under the rug. But if that were to be the case, then they're idiots because they barely dealt with the Ray Rice incident 4 to 5 years ago in the correct way, and they spent their whole time caring about Tom Brady's deflated balls. Or it could be situation number two. The NFL is so ignorant and so out of touch and run by such an overpaid rich buffoon that he actually didn't see the footage of Kareem Hunt because he has no pull and doesn't care. So it's either they knew about it and they were trying to sweep it under the rug, or they're such buffoons that are in over their head that they couldn't get the footage. It's one of those two. Because when you are the biggest sports league in the world, I don't care, forget soccer. When you are the biggest sports league in the world, you would think that you would want to be up to date with everything going on. And you would actually be embarrassed if you didn't know that this happened. That you would be like, oh my God, I think I need to keep track of what's going on more if I'm now hearing about it 9-10 months later. It's ridiculous. But it's not that way. Because if it honestly is that they now know about it and that they hadn't seen it, like us, then Roger Goodell is in over his head and his rich, overpaid ass should resign. If Roger Goodell honestly did not know about the Kareem Hunt video, then he should be gone. Bye-bye. That's not the case. Just saying. And everybody's surprised. Another football player is a violent person, like the guy from the 49ers or Ray Rice, blah, 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 blah. Their lifetime is taking hits to the head, being bruised and hurt all the time, and crushing their head into another man's head. I'm not saying every football player is a woman beater. Most of them aren't. But people act so shocked when boxers or football players or whatever, that they're kind of violent, that they're kind of weird. They're literally going to die of CTE. Just saying. It's not the most normal, conventional life. Everybody goes, but they're worth millions, and they can get any girl they want, and as long as they invest their money, they can be set for life and have a nice house and a nice car. They're also getting CTE, and they're also bruised up all the time. So that's what I got to say about Kareem Hunt and the NFL. It goes those two ways. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Also, the Los Angeles Clippers are having a pretty good year. Not the best year, but they're doing good. Their record, let me check here. The Clippers are, let me check here. They're in second place. 15-7, a 682 winning percentage. They are 10-5 in the conference, 3-0 in the division, 9-1 at home, 500, 6-6. away. So they're a good team. They're not going to win a championship, but they might win a playoff series or two. Now, Patrick Beverley, who plays for the Clippers, should be embarrassed about what happened. He should be ashamed to be Patrick Beverley, the guard for the Clippers. Because he got ejected after knocking out Dallas Mavericks player Dennis Smith Jr.'s tooth and throwing the ball at a Dallas fan who he claims said, "F your mother." Clippers veteran guard Patrick Beverley was ejected from Sunday's loss in Dallas. Mavericks guard Dennis Smith Jr. and Beverley were involved in separate loose ball scrambles, resulting in jump balls, but later ramifications came in the game. In the first sequence, Beverley appears to have elbowed Smith in the mouth, causing Smith to lose part of his tooth. Smith left the game briefly for medical attention. Smith was interviewed afterwards with the tooth somehow appearing intact. Then the two players, Smith and Beverley, wrestled on the ground for another loose ball in the fourth quarter. After Beverley from the Clippers gets up holding the ball, he threw the ball into the stands, earning a technical foul and an ejection. Here's the thing. If I'm Patrick Beverley and you are getting that worked up and that angry over some loser who is saying F your mother, then Patrick Beverley really needs to get some therapy, really needs to get some confidence, really needs to figure out what he's doing. Patrick Beverley is worth millions. Patrick Beverley makes $5 million annually and is worth $12 million and is in the NBA and has been in for about 8 to 10 years. This dude who says to an NBA player, F you and your mother, is probably worth $20 and probably got the tickets to the game for cheap. Why are you letting these fans bother you? Why are you letting these fans get to you? You're in the NBA. You're not playing for the Lakers, but you're playing in Los Angeles. You have a job that people in the NBA D-League, which is like the minor league, or people that play in gyms across this country of ours, would beg to be in your position, Patrick Beverley. They would beg to be rich and to be a basketball player in Los Angeles. You have the perfect situation. Why are you letting these fans who are bothering you get to you? Why are you letting these fans who are immature douchebags, why are you letting them get to you where you're throwing a ball? Just saying. You don't see LeBron doing that. Why don't you want to carry yourself after LeBron, after actual winners that know how to win? But what do I know? I don't play sports. I don't know anything. I'm just an awkward guy that does a podcast. You know, I'm just Ryan Hoppe, Hoppe, Hoppe Radio, Hoppe Hour. All right.
They had a busy weekend this weekend celebrating the huge success of her Thank You Next video, but breaking YouTube records and releasing additional behind-the-scenes footage wasn't enough for her. Girl also went and got another Pete Davidson tattoo covered up and then tweeted that true love doesn't exist. And while we're on the subject of Pete Davidson,
Ariana Grande, first of all, looks drop-dead gorgeous in that music video. That new blonde hair on her, oh man, she looks so good. Second of all, I sound like one of those porn directors in the background of a video. Oh yeah, girl, you look so good. I just sound creepy. Second point about Ariana Grande. You know what I think it is? I think she's a little crazy. Her boyfriend basically kills himself with a drug overdose. She probably has PTSD from the bombing at her concert. She suffers from being an anxious person, she said before. I think she's out of her mind. You're the most famous singer in this world. Any dude would want to hook up with you. Any dude would marry you right now. Honestly, if I'm the next dude that dates Ariana Grande, I will appreciate every single second that I'm officially dating her, because I would be paranoid that I would get dumped by her. I'd be paranoid that she would break up with me. I'm just saying. She literally released a song about all her exes. Thank You Next. and she's literally getting tattoos about them, about all her exes. She's out of her mind. She's crazy. Yeah, she's high. Yeah, she's a talented singer. And this whole thing, all these people in their 30s and 40s, who cares about Ariana? Cares. She's not that good of a singer. How about her millions of fans that listen to her music? How about all these celebrities that were in her video? You don't like the music, it's not for you, it's not for your generation. Doesn't matter. She's talented. Yes, she is. The same people that are ripping into Ariana, these middle-aged people, saying that she doesn't have any talent, who cares about them, blah, blah, blah. Millennials and Generation Z cares about it. It's like in the 80s, if your mom were to say to these people that are complaining about Ariana now, their parents said, who cares about Madonna? She's nothing more than an imbecile, like a virgin for the very first time. Every generation has their sexy singers. Every generation, it gets passed down. So this whole thing that, oh, because I don't like Ariana's music and it's not for me, then it's not for anybody. Shut up. You're just out of touch and old.
He spoke out about the music video. I've got what he said coming up in just a second. Hey everyone, and happy Monday. I cannot think of a better way to start off this week than recapping everything Queen Ariana Grande did following the release of the Thank You Next music video, so let's get into it. First, we have to discuss how the video completely broke the internet and YouTube. It had over 800,000 people tuning in live for its Friday release and garnered 46 million views in the first 22 hours, making it the video with the highest number of views in the first 24 hours. Yes, Queen! The playful girly video had some stellar cameos, including one from none other than Kris Jenner.
First of all, she's talented, but let's call her Princess Ariana, because Queen, to me, either goes to Freddie Mercury or goes to Beyonce. She's Queen Bee. Nobody else. There's only one queen.
That working with your momager was so fun, and she wants Kris and her mom to be besties. Same here. Even though the video was so good, I feel like I don't need to watch another music video ever again. Ari decided to bless us once more with behind-the-scenes footage, and it is epic.
I love these celebrity reporters. Like, it's not a bad music video. It was well made, but to say it was the best of all time, you're just kissing her ass. And you know what's annoying about all these celebrity reporters too? They feel like if they kiss Ariana's ass, that Ariana and her narcissism is going to Google all these reports and be like, oh my god, this girl from this celebrity site really complimented my music video. We should be friends today. We should hang out. I'm going to add her on Twitter and be like, hey, you local blogger out of Los Angeles, I really like that you said that my music video was the best of all time and that I'm a queen. We should hang out. No, that ain't happening.
In it, we hear from some of the major players like Jennifer Coolidge, who could not stop gushing about Ariana and her empowering music, and Matt Bennett, who shared a very sweet moment with Ari. Oh, Maddie. We don't deserve this. Also, I'm just going to go out on a limb here and say they make a very cute couple. If you don't agree, don't at me.
Nobody's adding you, honey. Nobody's going, what is this random celebrity reporter talking about? Nobody cares. You're nothing more than another reporter. Just like how I'm another podcaster. No ifs, ands, or buts about it.
A little moment in the music video. When she was filming the bend and snap scene from Legally Blonde, in the behind-the-scenes coverage, you can see that Ari actually covered up the tattoo she got in honor of Pete's father. Ari had the number 8418 inked by her ankle. It was Pete's dad's badge number, but got rid of it and replaced it with a Mac Miller Trid.
Man, if I'm Pete Davidson, you know he's living in denial. You know that he's praying, he's hoping there was some chance he'll get back with her. That's gotta hurt. That a washed up druggie of a rapper, and I was a fan of Mac Miller back in 2010, but not his recent music, it was creepy before he died, that your dad, who served this country and died in 9/11, now his tattoo, even if you guys got the breakup, was replaced. The one she got in honor for a tattoo of the dog of a druggy loser rapper. Not the Mac Miller of 2010. Not the Mac Miller that everybody wanted to be friends with. The one that was doing drugs. That your dad is less important. I know she was with Mac for longer, but she's basically saying, I love him in the end more than you, and you are nothing more than a replacement. Man, if I'm Pete Davidson, I'd be heartbroken. It's not this Mac Miller from 2010 that everybody wanted to smoke weed with and eat pancakes with. It's the one that was a druggie. Because this was Mac Miller in his prime. This was the Mac Miller that everybody in my generation, in the class of 2010 to 2012, good old millennials, this was what we all listened to. Mac Miller was awesome. This is the guy that you'd want to drink with, you'd want to party with, you'd want to hang out with. But not the recent one that was talking about dying. Yeah, it's a good song. So, that's Mac Miller in 2010. Just trying to teach my listeners that are Generation X who don't know much about Mac Miller. That's him in 2010, talking about eating pancakes and getting high. Now, here was him in 2017.
My regrets look just like text I shouldn't send.
The first line, my regrets are like the text I shouldn't have sent. So he went from talking about having waffles and getting high to now, before he died, Pete Davidson. She thought she loved him more in the end than she loved you. And that loser's dog is more important in the grand scheme of things than your dad. That's gotta hurt. Back to the clip.
Now the cat reads Myron, which is the name of Mac's dog. Oh, so touching. But just because she covered up another cat doesn't mean there's any bad blood between the singer and her former fiance. Although she did tweet, actually, I don't want no next. True love doesn't exist over the weekend.
Of course there's bad blood between Ariana Grande and Pete Davidson. They've thrown shots at each other when he's on SNL and her music. They don't like each other. They were going to get married. I'm not making this about me, but I've been through a breakup. There's no real, when you're engaged and then the engagement ends, there's no real, like, you know what, I love that person deep down. Yeah, there's nothing. You were going to get married and then you get dumped. There's bad blood everywhere. So this girl, this reporter, trying to say that there's no bad blood between Pete Davidson and Ariana Grande. Of course there is. He's worth about $800,000, maybe $1 million. She's worth $30 million, and he was living in her penthouse. And he got to have sex with Ariana Grande. Then she dumps him and replaces his tattoo about his dad, who died in honor, for a druggy loser's dog. Of course there's bad blood. This reporter's just never gone through a breakup of being engaged.
Quickly deleted it, writing, true love might exist, I was just hungry. Relatable. But Pete and Ariana are actually on really civil terms. If you paid close attention during the Thank You Next video, you can see that Ari actually wrote, sorry I dipped Pete in her Mean Girl style burn book.
Just because Ariana Grande in the video says, sorry I dipped Pete, doesn't mean that Pete's not crying himself to sleep. But man, if you're Pete Davidson, you are set for life. Because you are going to be known as the guy who got to have sex with Ariana Grande. And every single hot girl that he will be able to hook up with will be intrigued by that. She will be drawn in by that. She will be turned on by that. I'm not saying every girl, but any girl that he hooks up with, she's going to be like, what did Ariana see in this goofball? Yeah, he's talented. Yeah, he's good looking. But what I'm saying is they're going to be like, does he do it hard? Is he a generous lover? Girls are going to be more willing now to have sex with Pete Davidson, because before he was just known as a funny comedian on SNL. But now he's known as the guy that got to bang Ariana Grande. So girls are going to be like, what was it that he brought to the bedroom or that he brought that made Ariana fall in love with him? So Pete Davidson is set. I'm just saying. But yeah, that's got to suck. 1 second you're on top of the world and you're banging Ariana Grande. The next second she dumps you. But you know what I think it is too? He was too braggy about her. He was always complaining that, or not complaining, he was always rubbing it in people's faces that he was banging Ariana Grande. He went on Howard's show and talked about how amazing she is. After a few months, they get engaged. Who didn't see this coming? Just saying. Who didn't see this coming? Poor Pete, though. God, you just go from being on top of the world to, you know, it ending. Yes, please. Yes, talk to me. Yeah? We did. We did. You did. It's 7 a.m. We drive around, you know, cruise. We did. It was so romantic and nice. Yeah, we did. It was really chill. We were just so, we couldn't break apart. I miss him too. Oh yeah, cuddle a little bit. Maybe sneak a peek. Singer AJ. Yeah. Well, you made a sex tape with Kim. He did. She did. Kim Kardashian, this is Ray J, by the way, One Wish. One of the best songs ever. Ray J gave the sex tape to Kim for safekeeping, which is one of the dumbest things that Ray J could possibly do. If he really didn't want the tape to get out there, he would, in his backyard of his mansion, he would make a campfire, he'd make a bonfire, and he would throw that tape in there and just let it burn to the ground. Because if you were to throw it in water, it could show up on the beach. And then, ooh, you got Ray J pounding Kim from behind. But he wanted the attention because his career was dying after this, even though it's a great song. I mean, no offense to Ray J, but besides Sexy Can I, this was his main hit. I'd be mad. He's 50% of that sex tape, and he didn't even get that famous from it. And Kim Kardashian also claims that she was on ecstasy during it. This is all alleged. There's no proof about it. But you gotta wonder how much it hurts Ray J. He had one wish. He wanted to be famous like her. Yeah. Uh-huh. Once again, Ray J's got kind of the Pete Davidson factor, where he's known for his sex tape and it's on every porn site. So you know he's gotten laid so much because girls are like, what did he do that he got to have sex with Kim Kardashian? What would he bring to the bedroom? What would he do to spice things up? And he can sing too, which would turn on girls. Just saying. Man, I need to like bang a famous girl and then I can get whoever I want. That'd be my one wish. Such a good song, you know. It's a little obsessive. Kind of like, baby, it's cold outside. It's a little pushy. Ugh, don't be getting that. Alright, here's the thing. We're going to come back in Happy Hour and talk about a little more of this and that and this and that.
Happy Hour. Happy Hour. It's 5 in the morning and I'm
top, having phone sex with you, so horny. And now I'm on the hotline, over here lusting for you, so horny. Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. Let's talk about bubbles in the tub. Let's talk about making love. Let's talk about you on top, or me going, Let's have a little phone sex, baby, on the hotline.
Oh, yeah. Such a good beat. Yeah. And just like that, I cut it off. 856-49 Hoppy. 856-49 Hoppy. Ken Jeong, who played the crazy Asian doctor on The Hangover, says that there is a chance that there could be a new Hangover 4. Why? The Hangover was so greedy. Let me explain. The first one was so funny. In 2009, that was a hilarious movie. But it kind of hurt its legacy a little bit by making Hangover 2 and Hangover 3. If they knew what was good for them, they cared about their legacy, they wouldn't have made another one. But I feel like because they made so many, it kind of watered down the product a little bit. I feel like because they made so many that people just think about the second and third one, and then you're not able to appreciate the first one. But maybe that's just me. Also in the news here from TMZ, Alec Baldwin was making jokes about his arrest for getting into a fight with that guy on SNL. And guess how he did it? How they all do it, because they're hacks over there at SNL that are obsessed with Trump. He did it dressed up as Trump. Alex says in a clip, God, I haven't been this upset since I flipped out over that parking spot. What a tool. Because you know, if Alec Baldwin was beat up and got into a fight and it was the other person's fault, he would cry, he'd be a victim, he'd go behind his lawyer like a pussy, he'd be so offended and triggered, and he'd want that guy to be prosecuted to the max, and there'd be no humor about it. Because when you look at Alec Baldwin, when things aren't going his way, he's a humorless douche. But because it happened to Alec Baldwin and he has money and he knows he can get away with it, ha ha ha, such a funny situation, you tool, ha ha ha. Just really funny how, because it's Alec Baldwin and he's a narcissist and an awful father and a douchebag, that, you know, he is able to make jokes about it, but if it happened to him, he would have no sense of humor. Frankly, he'd be crying. Frankly, he'd be a little bitch about it. Frankly, he'd be annoying. Maybe it's just me. You know, what do I know? Any fight I ever got into growing up, you know, I got beat up. And I have a 1-2 record in boxing matches. Well, what do I know? Maybe I'm not as tough as Alec Baldwin. I'm not as much of a man as Alec Baldwin. Maybe if I got into fights over parking spots, I could be more of a man like Alec Baldwin. Maybe my net worth would be like Alec Baldwin. Maybe if we all were to act like such assholes to people, maybe we would be worth $65 million. But frankly, I would rather be broke. I'd rather be doing this podcast. I would rather never make it in life than be Alec Baldwin. Because at least I would go down with a more genuine legacy and I wouldn't be such an asshole, a narcissist, and a sociopath. Just saying. Maybe if I was worth that money, maybe it would make me into an asshole. Maybe like if you're that famous and you're that rich, like are you just meant to be a douchebag? Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it because it's meant to be, it's going to happen, it's going to trigger you, it's going to draw you to be a different person. It just makes me wonder why it always happens to everybody. It's just kind of weird. It's crazy. You know, it's odd. It's insane, I tell you, that when you get money and wealth and power and clout and you do a good impersonation of Donald Trump, that you're untouchable.
Happy hour is about to end, but first, it's time for last call.
Ow! Ow! I hurt myself. Alright, this has been brought to you by Eric Marshall, EMK Final Round in Bradenton. Are you sick and tired of being out of shape? Are you sick and tired of looking at yourself in a mirror and crying every morning? Life's too short. Get into shape. And you're going, man, but I don't know where to go. I don't know where to turn. I don't know who to go to. If you go to EMK Final Round, Eric Marshall, Kickboxing, Muay Thai, and MMA, and you tell him that I sent you, he will hook you up with a great deal. The best deal possible. 6103 28th Street East, that's in Bradenton. Call him anytime during the day. 941-812-2560. It's 941-812-2560. If you go there and get into shape and tell him that I sent you, he will hook you up with a top-notch deal. The best deal possible. And here's why that would happen. Because if my goofy baby giraffe uncoordinated ass was able to lose 40 pounds, that is proof that anybody can do it. And that is proof that Eric Marshall is as legit as it comes. 6103 28th Street East in Bradenton, 941-812-2560. It's 941-812-2560. You can listen to Hoppe Hour under Hoppe Radio on Spotify and with the Hoppe Radio app. You can also listen via TuneIn and much more, but I pretty much just want you to listen on Spotify and on the Hoppe Radio app. At Ryan Hoppe Radio on Twitter, on Gram, Hoppe Radio on Snapchat. They won't let me change the name. RyanHoppeRadio.com, RyanHoppeRadio@gmail.com, and you can leave me a voicemail at any time. 856-49-HOPPE. It's 856. Ow! 49-HOPPE. All right. This has been Hoppe Hour. Ow! I hurt myself again. I got to get out of here. Bye.